So this video is going to be about men's mental health, and the structure is going to be taken from a website that I will link below. And this is the mentalhealthfoundation.org.uk. And this is just their page based on men and mental health. So I'm going to give an overview and go through each subheading, kind of use that as a structure for this video, maybe give some of my own comments as well. So as it says at the top, it's very hard to really gauge these true figures. And again, that's like with anything because, if you're surveying or do anything like that, you might not be getting to all the people you need to, or all the people that need help might not be getting help, so you can't necessarily register it. But they do a couple big bullet points here, which is like other signs that give us a better picture of mental health for men is so men are 3 times more likely to die from suicide, particularly men from age 40 to 49. They have the highest rates of suicide in the UK. Men report lower levels of satisfaction than women in their life. And also, turns out NHS talking therapies, only a third of the people who refer themselves, roughly a third are men, the rest are women. So maybe men aren't like as willing to go to talk therapies or just don't want to. And also, men are more likely to go missing, sleep rough, become dependent on alcohol and drugs. And they talk about how they have a stats page linked to their website. So if you want to see stats on that, you can check it out. Next is why don't men talk about mental health? Now, this is kind of their opinion. I think, I'll put some of my opinion there too, but they talk about these traditional roles, kind of, the masculine roles. I guess that's true to some extent. Like, I don't mind talking too much about my emotions, but I think definitely there's only certain people you can go to. I think it might be easier sometimes for women to talk to each other. I'm not throwing shade at anyone here. I just think sometimes they support each other more, and yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Next is talking about men being the breadwinners and being strong, and I think that is true. Like, we're in a society now where a lot of women work, and I think it's a lot of pressure to put onto men still when society has changed. You know, just because a woman's working full time, etc. I mean, like, you should definitely strive to be your best, and if you want to support someone, go for it. But at the same time, if you're both earning the same money, or if they're earning more, I don't see why they can't pay more, pay half. Or like it. There's a lot of pressure to have all this stuff, and I just don't think it's the other way around. I think it's specifically for men. I think that's why so many men just kill themselves. Who's gonna want who wants a guy after a certain age? Like if you're not providing certain things, like it's kind of sad, but it's kind of true. Um, and then it just says how research suggests that men who speak openly about their emotion, who don't speak openly about their emotions, they're less likely to be diagnosed with a mental health condition if they do have one, which is kind of obvious. Men can kind of bury themselves in work and also alcohol and drugs. I get that. I think I definitely drink more if I'm like suffering from stuff, even if I do try and work out what the problem is. Is depression different for men? Now, it talks about how men can have increased irritability, sudden anger, loss of control, risk taking, and aggression. And this just seems to be more common in men with their depression. I don't know what the symptoms are for women. Um, I don't know. I have to look that up. But yeah, that seems to be specifically more common in men. So men may also be more likely to use drugs and alcohol. Kind of spoke about this before, and the escapist behavior, throwing themselves into work. I totally see that. I try and keep myself busy when I'm feeling down. Um, I think it's good to do that because it can make you feel better. But if there's something that needs to be addressed, kind of needs to be addressed. Um, they show you a link for symptoms of depression. Next is suicide and men. So there's nearly 6,000 suicides. This data is from 2017. I don't know, maybe they don't have more recent data, but 75% of these people were men. And suicide is the largest cause of death in men under 50, which is pretty sad when you think about it. And minority communities are way more likely to suffer from this, including gay men, war veterans, and men from BAME backgrounds, and then those with low incomes. And if you're a middle aged man um, who is less well off, you're way more likely to kill yourself, which I think makes sense. You know, if you're older and you're not doing so well and there's all this pressure expected to like do so well and you haven't made it, I can completely see that. I totally get it. Then they reference the Samaritan's website. So that's sorry, I know this is quite heavy stuff, but you know, it's just they're just stats and it's the truth. So what can you do if you're worried about your mental health? Now, this might be for someone listening, or they also have a section in case you're worried about someone else's mental health. Now, if you're worried about your own mental health, they have 10 practical ways to help your mental health. They say talk to your GP, go to talk to 999. They also give links as well. So, like, check it out if you really do need help. Go to the link below, and then you can go to that section. And then also, if you're worried about someone else, whether you're a woman or man, you're worried about someone else, you got to take care of yourself first. Um, Maybe help them try and get help, or listen to them, be there for them, reach out to them. Yeah, they also talk about online help as well. Anyway, that's kind of some of my input too, but mainly just from Mental Health Foundation. So thank you to them. Obviously, I'm using their page as a structure for my video. Maybe I'll try and do some snippets. I'll have the link down to their website below if you want to check it out. Obviously, there's so many different resources for this sort of thing. I just chose them because I thought it was a good page. It came up. It was nice and easy to read. So I'll link it down below. And thanks for watching, listening.